All right. Good morning, traders and investors. Thanks to the magic of the Benzinga development crew, we got all of our computers and systems working this morning. So we're going to be with you for a abbreviated version of pre-market prep today. I'm Spencer Israel here with Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick. And let's just jump right into it. So there's a lot of stuff to get to in a little bit amount of time. So guys, where do you want to start?
Let's start right with Breton because this is really the catalyst that was driving us down last night. Of course, Honey Badger S&Ps just come right back here, but I can tell you that your British stocks are very weak this morning. The pound got pounded overnight there. Spencer, give us details on what happened with these elections.
Theresa May lost the majority of Parliament, and pound got hit pretty hard off that.
Pound got hit, so if you go and look at your British stocks here, and I can actually give you guys in the chat, this is why you want to be in the chat, because I'm going to give you the list of the 35 British stocks that trade on the US. I'm pasting that over into the chat right now. These stocks are getting hit, probably a lot to do with currency, because obviously if they trade over here, they got to adjust for the currency as well. But take a look at the chart of Barclays, BCS, it's trading down 2.1% in the pre-market here. British Petroleum's trading down about 0.5%, but oil is up. So oil helping British Petroleum, but the currency not helping it. BT Group, which is another one, trading down 3% in the pre-market. I'm just going through a few that are just on that list that I just pasted there. GlaxoSmithKline, GSK, 1.1%. GW Pharma is one too as well. Hasn't traded here today, but that's obviously over there in Britain as well. So keep an eye on that one. Could be a little bit of weakness if it follows through. You've got stocks like LYG, which is Lloyd's Banking Group. That's down 2%. All of this mostly adjusting for currency effects with the pound down overnight. They've got to adjust over here those prices as well. Last one, I just want to say RBS Scotland. The banks are getting hit the most there. Your European banks, most of them are trading in the red, and the British banks are trading down the most.
This was an election called by Theresa May because she wanted to get, more of a stronger majority and get everyone behind her plan for the Brexit. And it turned her and bit her in the you-know-what here. So more chaos over there. Now, remember how the market reacted before. But now it's good news again. If they stay, it's good news. If they go, it's good news. So
good news for the S&Ps.
Yeah.
I mean, we got hit last night on this. When this happened, the S&Ps fell 7 points. And you know what happens when the S&Ps fall 7 points, Joel?
Dennis, do you know that we practically traded the range for the entire week in the pre-market session?
After hours last night.
Yes,
yeah.
yep.
And including the pre-market because we rallied all night. So right on this news, we got hit. S&Ps, show the S&P chart just
Sure.
what happened over here. Because I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what's going to happen? I actually bought some SPY last night and was trading down because I was like, you know what's going to happen? They're going to shrug this off. I'm going to be up tomorrow. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So when you fall us 7 S&P points, it's just the buy the dippers.
You just got to close your eyes.
I'm going with them. I mean, I hate to buy the dippers, but I've become one of them all of a sudden. I've actually, you can't fight it anymore. I mean, buy the dip, it works. So on the S&P, last night, boom, we go down, look at the chart there, and we're right back.
And just look at that chart there. We just have had a lot of consolidation week, bunching up near the highs. Dennis, I've said this to you before. The all-time high is 39.75, but ahead of that, 36.75. Let me count my stars here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got an 8 star at 36.75, Dennis. So we get above there, 3 points away. Another move to the upside.
If you don't have, if you're not following the currency markets and you just want to look at an equity, FXB, Fuzzy's letting us know, that tracks the British pound. You can see that's down 1.6% here in the pre-market. So if you want to just bring that up, if you don't feel like bringing your Forex charts up or your Forex quote watch, you can just bring up the FXB and that trades there and tracks it, down 1.6%. So obviously a lot of these stocks in Britain are adjusting their prices over here for that reason. That's why I see Barclays and those other stocks I just sent on that list trading down anywhere from 1.5% to 3%.
All right. Welcome our late viewers. We're up and going here. We got 19 minutes to cram in a lot of stuff. Just one earnings report, right, Dennis? That was from
I don't even know
Verifone.
if I would pay. Okay, let's do it because it's down 6%. Spencer, give us the results for Verifone Systems, PAY.
Yep, PAY reported yesterday after the bell Q2 adjusted EPS of 30 cents. That was in line with the estimate sales of 474 versus $472.6 million. So decent Q2. Their Q3 report coming in lower than the estimate as far as EPS. The sales for Q3 coming in lower than the estimate as well. And they also cut their fiscal year outlook.
Stock trading down 6% in the pre-market, 17 handle here now. Leading the wrong way yesterday. They bought it ahead of the report, and that was obviously wrong. We were cutting through some critical support, but we're kind of trying to hang on to it. I mean, that 17 low, I'm just looking, 17.23 was the low just in May. And then if we go back to April, we had a matching low at 17.23. I mean, if I was doing stars like you do, Joel, I think I'd give that level a 5-star rating.
Yeah, but I'm initiating coverage of Verifone Systems pay at a sell with a target of 0 because they
And
make.
remember, Joel is joking here because we can't give recommendations on the show.
The reason I'm saying that is they make the systems for like grocery stores and checkout, right? For what that's a majority of their business. Am I correct on that?
They definitely make those. I don't know if they have other businesses or not. I don't follow closely.
Because you're not going to
enough
need those anymore because there's not going to be any more stores because
It's
everybody's
a
going
good
to.
point.
They're going to buy stuff on Amazon and you don't need that. You just give them.
It's a good point.
Yeah. Yep. That's.
And the stock, it used to be a $60 stock back in 2011. $17 stock here today. The market's not arguing with you, Joel.
Yeah, look at that. But you did trade. I mean, if this really gets into reverse, you see the monthly lows where Dennis mentions at 17, but 15 might be the number that you may see over the next couple days. You had 3 monthly lows going back to the fall of 2016. But as far as things go, the pre-market low, that stands on the initial spike, and that went down. Where did you say that pre-market low was? 17.10, and we're only 10
We're like
cents.
right here.
Yeah.
It's
Not
still,
bouncing.
the jury's still out on this level, the 1723 level, because I know we're slightly trading through in the pre-market, but it's bid 1720 right now. If for whatever reason it can find a bid and hold at 1723 level, maybe it's okay. But this stock, like you've been saying, Joel, is completely out of favor here. Report is, not good as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it takes out that support today.
All right. Pay, P-A-Y.
Let's jump over to a story that Benzinga broke last night. Spencer, you got the details. Dish Network and Amazon. Benzinga broke this rumor last night, and Dish took off after Benzinga broke it. Exclusive story to Benzinga. Good job, guys. Let us know what was this Dish Amazon story.
Yeah, hat tip to the Benzinga news desk over here to my left. This was broken at around 5 p.m. yesterday. Amazon and Dish have discussed, sources tell us, an extended partnership and a potential merger. It would be where Amazon would adopt the Dish LTE spectrum specifically to be used for their delivery drones.
And stock popped big time when Benzinga broke that story. It was just started. There was no offers, and it just started popping. Because I saw, I'm listening to Charles already. He's breaking that. I was like, holy cow! I bring it up, and it was already up a buck, and then it ran another buck and another buck. What was after hours high there, Joel?
Let's go to Dish here. 67.60 was the high. We've settled back. Let's see here. That's above yesterday's high. Yesterday's high was 66.31. Just kind of settling in here, though. So, there was the pop, but very, very quiet. Has there been any comments from the companies?
No.
I think both companies declined to comment.
They both declined to comment.
So there's been no comments here. Just a rumor here right now. But Benzinga doesn't break these rumors very often, so I'm assuming they have a pretty decent source on this. Stock's still trading up $1.50, obviously. There got a little overzealous. I mean, this is what these things do because there's no liquidity. People are like, oh, they get all excited and they buy it up to 67, but still just a rumor. So maybe that was a little bit overdone. Maybe 65.5 looks like where it wants to be more. So, market's slightly adjusting for the possibility that this rumor could materialize. And that's why we're trading up $1.50 on. And it's fairly active here at 65.50 and fairly tight market, 65.41 to 65.59. So it's kind of finding its home around 65.5 to adjust for the new Benzinga news.
All right, and quite a bit off the old-time high here. We did have the Straight Path Communications, right? That unbelievable merger and, going out there for the spectrum. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If there's smoke, there's fire.
There could be. Where the smoke, there's sometimes fire. Snap, SNAP, catches a downgrade from Citigroup here today. They should have been listening to us 2 days ago there, Joel, when we were bearish. The stock up at 20.5. They're downgrading at 18.85. It's knocking another 40 cents off the price. Snap, you're coming into a critical level here now because we made the low of 18.16, or actually, sorry, 17.59 back on May 11th. That's your all-time low for Snap. It looks like that's where it wants to go challenge to me. So I think if you're running here at 18.41, I feel like you're early. I think you're going to get a shot down there at 17.60. Again, it's a matter of whether it holds or not.
Yeah, you're talking 1816. That was the
I'm
second.
talking
Yeah,
17.59.
yeah. Well, first you got to get through 1816, and that was the low after your on May 12th. After you made that 1759 low, haven't quite hit that yet in the pre-market or after hours, but there's certainly not anyone sticking out any bids, really trying to defend that thing as of yet.
Also for Snapchat, Nomura had cited in a note of theirs, I think it was yesterday or the day before, they cited data from Sensor Tower, who monitors app downloads, and the data from Sensor Tower said that Snapchat downloads are down 22% in the last 2 months.
Hmm.
So there you go.
There you go. So, anyway, Snap. You know what me and Joel think of this. So we went into depth here if you've been listening to the show for a while. So we're not fans of this valuation, and obviously we don't use it because we don't get it. But a lot of people like it, so I won't diss it anymore. It's been dissed enough here as of late. Uh, I just want to talk about the incredible runs here in the same stocks every single day. Tesla goes up. It seems like 10 points every day. Yesterday was no exceptions. Trade up $3 in the pre-market here once again. Even when the S&P futures were getting hit last night, Tesla was trading higher after hours. It's just like the strongest stock that ever existed on the stock exchange. Nvidia too, unbelievable move yesterday. Tax on another 10 points. Well, that's not enough because it's going up another 3.5 points here today. AMD is following suit here this morning, trading up 13 or to 13.12, up another 23 cents. I mean, the same stocks, Joel, every single day are the ones that keep driving us higher here. Been an absolutely incredible run for Tesla.
Yeah, pre-market high 373.18, so we will keep an eye on that. Nvidia just continues to plow higher, 164.92. That's what you hit in the after hours trading. Looks like we're backing off that a little bit. AMD got some coverage, right? Today, did someone initiate coverage? But it wasn't a neutral, so I don't know
I
why.
didn't see coverage. Was there coverage for
Yeah,
AMD,
it
Spencer?
was Longbow initiating coverage on a neutral, so
Oh, a
Yeah.
neutral. Yeah, we ignore those. When I see a hold or a neutral, I don't even look at it again because, like I said, that's my pet peeve. It seems like it's just unless it's getting downgraded to hold or upgraded to a neutral, because that's different. But if they're initiating at a hold or a neutral, I mean, what are you really telling me? You're not telling me anything. So it's not market moving information at all when it's just initiated. So I completely ignore those.
All right, 1321. That's your pre-market high in AMD. Just going back a little bit, I just wanted, the Alibaba yesterday, and I think, it was just flying in the after
Rolling.
hours and the pre-market, and it did. I think Ace was looking at it short. I don't know if he caught it or not. We did hit that 143.95, and then the one opened up right near the high. So I guess the only lesson to be learned from that, if you want to, stick your neck out on something like that and, take a big risk, I mean, the open is the time because I did notice that Baba opened up. The initial open was 142.51. Then I think it went to like 42.86 and then came in. So if you could have taken that 30, 40 cents worth of heat, you did get a nice downward. But buyers did step in there well ahead of that any kind of a gap
Oh yeah,
fill. So
like we said they would.
yeah,
We were saying,
very
this
tough
is
trade.
just, an adjustment of price. If this thing pulls back, it's a buying opportunity. And it did give you a shot down at 135 handle there. So, I mean, that was the chance. And obviously, we've taken off since then. And I think Baba's higher eventually. Baba's strong enough here, Joel. I'll tell you right now, I'm looking at the imbalances. There's 224,000 shares to sell in Alibaba. It's got a sell imbalance of over 200,000. That's enormous. It's still trading higher. It's still up $1. So somebody is saying, and a lot of people are saying that there's going to be more buyers that come in the next 40 minutes, that are going to offset that 224 and it's going to go higher, which might very well happen. because that's what somebody's saying. Because they're saying, because right now, if the stock was to open, it would open down with that 224,000 share sell imbalance. So everybody who's buying up a buck right now would be losing money. But the market's banking that 224,000 share sell imbalance is going to go away. And you know what? I'm not shorting it, so they might be right.
It's just, I mean, if the information that they gave the other night is true and the revenue growth is going to be close to 50% in
Incredible.
2018, I mean, I'm not a number cruncher here, but how do you put a valuation on that?
Nobody was out. Nobody was at those numbers, and that's why I was rallying yesterday. And it takes time sometimes. Like here is, something that I've always said. I haven't said this a lot on the show, but at least I've always thought it over the years. When you have an extreme news event like an Alibaba, where all of a sudden they come out with these numbers and they're so ridiculously high, the market can't even adjust for that right away. It can't go right to that price, because there's other people that are going to take profit. So it sometimes takes actually, the course of time to do it. Apple is a great example. Look at Apple back when it was trading at $100, and I'm talking, okay, so I'm talking pre-split, before the 7-for-1 split. So that would be equivalent of like $20. And Apple was coming out and they had all these projections and stuff. And it's like, man, when you start doing the math here, if this actually, gets anywhere near some of these projections, this stock is going to, be a monster. And it did, and it kept climbing, and it had pullbacks in there and gave you lots of chances, but, it kept trying to catch up to the company's performance. And sometimes the stock price simply can't catch up to the company's performance when they're performing that well. And now we're not saying Alibaba, but the projections that they're giving here, I don't think the market can even adjust in one day for for what Alibaba has said yesterday.
Should we go?
I think Alibaba's a lot higher here. If those numbers are anywhere true, I think Alibaba could eventually be a $200 stock.
I was just gonna say, I mean, maybe we should just look at some 170, 180 leaps and just forget about it.
I hate buying options though, and I know you've always leaned to buying options. I have never made money buying options, only selling options. And this is why Nick Shaheen, we have on Tuesday all the time, will say, well, if you're that bullish the stock, why not sell some puts?
Correct.
You could do it the other way. Bring in the premium. Why pay premium? Because the time is working against you. And in the long run, you lose money buying options because the time is always working against you. They are like lottery tickets. Who makes the money in the long run? Sure, you have the odd person that wins the lottery. You'll have the odd person that has made money buying an options. But the vast majority of people do not make money buying options. They make money selling options. So, one other thing, there's not a lot of things we teach, that we pound in your head, but this is one here that I think I've been pretty consistent on over the 5 years that I've been doing this show. It's been almost 5 years. That's incredible. But, is basically that options, it's difficult to make money buying options.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of selling. So if you want that bet, rate the 120 puts, as a thing.
Correct. Bring
in the premium or 125s, maybe it's a better way to do it. Maybe do it like Nick, maybe buy a lower strike to protect yourself in the case of an event that Alibaba doesn't do what they think they're going to do or your thesis doesn't work out. I don't like leaving myself completely open-ended, but that being said, I do not like buying calls.
All right, and also you could sell some puts and then finance your call purchase with the puts.
You could do it that way too, but you know what? People do that, and they end up leaving themselves open-ended too. So what they'll do is they'll sell puts and say, I'll buy the equal amount of calls. So I'm getting, a little bit of upside, but you're still exposed on the downside that way. So, I still like the way Nick does it. He always protects himself. That's why Nick Shaheen is very consistent in the money that he makes. And he's, I think, one of the best option traders out there. He's very, you don't hear, much about him in the mass media here because he's not known. But, he is getting more known, at least in our universe. I'll tell you, the way Nick approaches the markets and his track record speaks for itself, the way he protects himself after, that's exactly, I think, the way you should be trading options. And I'm not an options trader. I've traded options in the past, but I'm primarily an equities trader. But I'll tell you, from my nibbling in over 18 years in options, and I've still traded quite a few options over the years. Probably thousands of different trades and options. So it's not like I have zero experience, but it's not my primary focus. I've always made more money selling options, and I think Nick does too.
All right, we got about 5 minutes here, unless we go a little bit over. But I know you're going to get busy at 9 here, Dennis. Is there any other market movers we need to cover?
Yeah, let's just fly here. There's a few other ones. I want to talk about the move yesterday in Nordstrom, JWN. It's getting the double downgrade here today too. Nordstrom getting downgraded at Guggenheim and
Downgrade.
UBS.
Yep.
And this is a stock. This is, it just shows you how much trouble these department stores are in. That news broke right at 9 o'clock yesterday, and we're like, this could be a game changer. And I was saying yesterday, this is a game changer if Nordstrom gets end up taking private, and a lot of your other department stores are going to fly off this, and they did. But those gains were so short-lived. They came in with their selling shoes on again. Even in Nordstrom itself, the market basically called the bluff. They're basically saying, nah, you're not taking this private. Because stock went up to like 49 pre-market, and then, open not even at 48, ends up going down to $44. Basically, so it's giving back over half of the gains. Macy's, which would be a prime candidate for something like this if obviously somebody had the money to do it, if they really were a believer in it, it was trading up over like 3-4%. It gave it all back. Kohl's was trading up like 4%, up over 2 points. It gave it all back. I mean, these retailers can't rally. These department stores can't rally on this news. What the hell is going to rally them?
Yeah,
That's telling you how bad the sector is.
We were talking about that over. I guess that was an expensive lunch yesterday, Dennis. So I'm gonna knock 2 off that. So now we're even. That was an expensive lunch.
In a Hard Rock Cafe, and I even ate off the $10 menu for them. You're not getting 2 off on that one.
Yeah, no.
And you're gonna owe me another one when Ford goes down.
But you made a good point. You said that you went with the news. You went with the JWN. And you said, hey, I don't know if you went with the JWN, but you bought the Macy's or the Kohl's, and you're like, this ain't going my way, and that was something. And you said you had scratches or small losses in it, but good.
Here's the way you trade. I was dead wrong with, chasing those. I can tell you, I should actually bring up what I bought yesterday. So on the opening print, I bought Macy's. I bought the Gap. I bought, there was like 5 or 6 retailers that I bought. Because I'm like, they didn't open up very high, and I'm like, this could really drive them up. They just sat there, and I'm like, in the first 10 seconds, I want to see them start going my way right away. I'm like, they're not going up. I'm like, these aren't going up. You know what I turned around and I sold them all. And I actually made money on the Macy's because it rallied like a nickel or a dime, but I lost a little bit on the Gap, and the other 2, I think I had like scratch. So overall, almost scratched out all the trades, and they came right back in. So you've got to be able to identify when you've made the wrong call quickly. And I was doing that in the first 10 seconds. That's just 18 years of experience. I'm looking at the markets, and when you see something like that, and I think they're opening too low, I want to see everybody say, whoa, they opened too low. They're coming buyers right away. Well, if they don't do that, if they open, barely up, which the GPS did, and there was another wild card too, because Urban Outfitters had bad sales. So I was cautious going in. I'm like, I think this is going to overpower the Urban Outfitters' bad sales. But at the end, it really didn't. And then JWN starts coming in. When your leader starts coming in, that's your sign to hit the exit button on the sympathy plays. So it's if JWN does end up going private, I think it will pop all these stocks. But if this is actually any truth to this rumor. But the market's calling the bluff. I mean, it would not pull back to 44 if the market thought this was going to happen. So because I would imagine if it goes private, it's going to be at 55 or $60.
All right,
so
yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
Yeah, Gap stores just looming above this $22 level. We mentioned we brought it up on the show earlier in the week, that major support that's been holding this issue up since, let's go back to September of last year. So keeping an eye on that, and then on the upside, you got a little bit of a wall there at 23 as well. So we'll keep an eye. S&P's up 275 at 24.33, not giving much a boost to these retailers. And as you said, Dennis, what will if they didn't hold those early gains from yesterday?
Yeah, that's very disappointing if you're owning any of those retailers. Really, that's pretty much the bulk of it anyways. We kind of crammed a lot of the major stuff in. We didn't get to the minor stuff, but it is 9 o'clock. We're again sorry about the technical difficulties that we had earlier. If you stuck with us, thank you so much for sticking with us. And so Spencer, if you want to wrap us up a preview next week,
sure.
Ready for you.
Dennis, good luck trading out there. Everyone else, good luck trading out there today on this final day of the week. Looking ahead to next week, got a good slate of guests. Jeremy Newsome, who is he's our only trader / comedian, correct? That we have on the show.
Yeah.
Oh no, we had the other guy. So we love Jeremy on. We got Evan Schneiderman from Prattle. He analyzes Federal Reserve statements based on AI algorithms. We have Kyle Dennis, biotech trader. Nick Shaheen will be back with us on Tuesday, so good slate of guests for next week. Please don't forget to subscribe to Benzinga Pro. with Benzinger Pro. You can be the first to know. Trade faster, trade smarter with Benzinger Pro. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can get this show. That's where the show streams. So get the show directly on your YouTube channel by subscribing to Benzinga TV, and you can also go to premarket.benzinga.com. Don't forget about our podcast as well. If you missed the live show, it'll be up there in about an hour. It's on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. Alrighty, have a good day, everyone. Good luck out there, and we will be back with you folks on Monday morning.
Whether you're a short-term swing trader or a long-term investor, you need to check out Thinkorswim, brought to you by TD Ameritrade. There's a reason why Thinkorswim has been named the #1 trading platform, because it has it all. With Thinkorswim, you can trade stocks, options, futures, forex, and virtually every other type of order. Get notifications on mobile devices and interact with other traders in chat rooms. You can also use technical indicators and see the latest investing and trading education in Think Money magazine. If you want to keep up with the markets, you need Thinkorswim. To experience everything Thinkorswim has to offer, open a TD Ameritrade account today. Thinkorswim, the online trading platform for traders and investors. TD Ameritrade, member SIPC. All investing involves risks.